The success habit that made Walt Disney different. Success leaves clues. And this is our series on number 3 on great men that we can actually learn something from. Every great success story begins with a dream. But before every dream becomes reality, someone has to imagine it first. Today's story isn't about a cartoonist. It's about a man who refused to let anyone tell him his dreams were impossible. And for many of us out there, we always have somebody like that telling us our dreams are impossible. And if you get anything from this story, I'd like you to take one thing home with you. Don't let anybody block your dreams. Every good dream is worth pursuing. Anyway, it's about a man who refused to let anyone tell him his dreams were impossible. That's what I just got finished saying about you. Don't let anybody tell you your dreams were impossible. Before Disneyland, before Mickey Mouse, before millions of smiling faces around the world, there was simply a young boy who loved to draw. Today, we're going to discover the success habit that made Walt Disney different. And all of us have something within us that makes us different. The difference between Walt Disney and the normal person is he had the desire and the willingness to not let anybody stop him. And you'll find that out with all the great men. They had something stamped on their forehead. They were unstoppable. Let every dream begin with your imagination. Walter Ellis Disney was born December 5th, 1901. Birthplace, Chicago, Illinois. His parents were Ellis Disney and Floral Call Disney. The boy who never stopped imagining. Dreams begins with your imagination. I have a question for you. What dream have you stopped believing in because someone else couldn't see it? Walt Disney wasn't born into wealth. His family worked hard, and life wasn't always easy. Yet even as a child, he possessed something simple, something that no one could take away. Sorry about that. Something that nobody could take away. An imagination. Everybody's got it. The question is, do you use it? An imagination is constantly asked, what if? The lesson is imagination often sees the possibility before reality does. The boy who loved to draw. Walt's happiest childhood memories came from Marcelina, Missouri. Marcelina, Missouri, a small farming town, would later inspire the Main Street USA at Disneyland. He loved the animals around the farm. He watched trains pass through the town with fascination. He filled notebooks with drawings. Some neighbors even paid him to sketch their horses, family pets. Looking back, those weren't just childhood hobbies. They were first clues to the life he would eventually build. Your earliest passions often point towards your future purpose. Hard work before the sunrise. Walt's father believed children should learn responsibility early in life. I'm one of those people too. I taught our kids to work, and one day, as they were growing up, they hated it. But one day my oldest daughter came to me and says, "Dad, I'm glad you taught me to work. It taught me character, and that's something I'm going to live with the rest of my life." Early in the morning, every morning, long before the sun came up, Walt delivered newspapers. He often worked in freezing temperatures before heading to school. Wow, a lot of kids today have problems just going to school, but this boy got up and worked in the snow. Most children would have been exhausted, but Walt still found time to draw. He even attended art classes whenever he could. His schedule was difficult. His dream wasn't. Every sketch brought him one step closer to the future he imagined. Lesson: dreams survive because we keep making time for them, even when life gets busy. The first big opportunity. After serving overseas with the Red Cross in World War I, Walt returned home determined to become an artist. He found work creating advertisements and illustrations, but his real dream was much bigger. In 1922, he founded Laugh-O-Gram Studios in Kansas City. It was the first company that truly reflected his vision. Walt wasn't just making cartoons. He wanted to tell stories that would make people smile and laugh. Many people he saw depressed, but he wanted to change that. He wanted to make people happy. For a brief moment, it looked like his dream was finally becoming reality. But sometimes our greatest disappointments come just before the greatest breakthrough. And this is the difference between greatness and not greatness. The greatness, people continue. A lot of people stop right here. Your first success often prepares you for an even greater opportunity. Here's some fun facts. The first building Walt built at Disneyland and how long it took. I'm going to let you know, right now I'll be looking down at my paper, at my notes. I don't have this memorized. The first building during the park's construction is the Main Street Opera House. It was also used as a mill during construction. Disneyland opened on July 17th, 1955, and that's from Wikipedia. The total land was approximately 100 acres. Here's a fun design trivia. The park was designed and constructed under Walt's direct supervision, and it helped set standards, cleanliness, theming, hub and spoke layout that influence parks broadly. For Disneyland, the publicly well-known documented tunnel. Disneyland has an underground utility passage network. They're called Utilidor, that lets cast maintenance operations move equipment and access systems without running everything at surface level. These spaces support utilities and the back of the house operations, electrical, plumbing, heating, AC systems, and much more. What is a utilidor? This information, by the way, is from touringplans.com. A utilidor is an underground utility tunnel. The word underground tunnel system at Walt Disney World. Although there are utilidors elsewhere, Disney World has one of the most extensive, famous of the most systems. Utilidors are used by cast members to move around the park out of sight of guests. As such, it's part of the backstage area designed to keep up the impressive experience for guests in the park. How did they come about? Well, the story goes that Walt was walking in Disneyland one day and saw a cowboy from Frontierland walking through Tomorrowland. He felt it was not only jarring, but it broke the illustration of the story each land was designed to tell. So when the plans were made for Walt Disney World, he wanted a way for the cast members to avoid being seen when moving around. The thing is, Florida's water table is so high, building corridors underground wasn't feasible. As a result, utilidors were built at ground level, and the Magic Kingdom is basically the second story. So whenever you're looking at a second story building, it's actually the third story. You're sitting on the first story. When everything fell apart, when disaster struck, Laugh-O-Gram Studios ran out of money. The company went bankrupt. Walt couldn't pay his employees. He couldn't even pay many of his own personal bills. His dream, the dream he had poured everything into, had collapsed. With every little money in his pocket and only a suitcase of belongings, Walt boarded a train for Hollywood. Most people would have called it quits, but Walt called it a new beginning. Failure often opens doorway to the greater opportunity. The mouse that changed everything. When just things seemed to be improving, Walt received another devastating blow. He lost the rights to the successful character Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Worse yet, many of his animators left. Once again, he was forced to start over. During the train ride back to California, Walt began sketching a new character, a cheerful little mouse. That mouse became Mickey Mouse. In 1928, Steamboat Willie introduced Mickey to the world. It wasn't just a successful cartoon, it was the beginning of an entertainment empire that would inspire for generations. Here's a success card that I often have in my slides with successful people. And here's Walt's. Every great success story leaves clues. Walt Disney's greatest strength wasn't simply his artistic talent, it was his ability to imagine possibilities long before anyone else could see them. He could believe that failure wasn't the end of the story, it was simply another chapter. His imagination gave him vision. His vision inspired persistence, and that persistence helped him build one of the most recognized companies in the world. The lesson isn't we all need to become Walt Disney. The lesson is that we should never stop protecting the dreams placed in our hearts. Imagination is where tomorrow begins. Dream bigger than your circumstances. Persistence creates opportunity. Failure is part of the journey. Protect your imagination. What we can learn from Walt Disney's remarkable journey. First, don't let your circumstances determine your failure. Walt came from horrible beginnings, yet he dared to dream far beyond what anyone expected. Second, understand that failure is not the end of the story. Losing his first business and rights to Oswald the Lucky Rabbit could have stopped him, but instead, those disappointments pushed him towards creating Mickey Mouse. The third, protect your imaginations. Never, ever stop asking, what if? The world's greatest ideas often begin as a simple dreams that someone is willing to pursue. Fourth, persistence. Persistence creates opportunity. Walt kept moving forward, one project at a time, even when others doubted his vision. And finally, building something that outlives you. Walt Disney created more than a business. He built stories and experiences that continue to bring joy to millions of people around the world. Okay, number one, dream. Every dream, every great achievement begins with a dream. Believe in your vision, even when others don't. Build. Take one small step today towards the future you want. Don't let anybody stop you. Be one of those unstoppables. Never quit. The difference between success and regret is often the description of the decision. Let me see that again. Never quit. The difference between success and regret is often the decision to keep going. Let me add something to this. All our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. That was from Walt Disney. And if anybody has a right to say something like that, Walt Disney did. If you're ready to take the next step towards your dream, click on that link below this video and I will show you a step-by-step blueprint on how you can pursue your dream. You know, many men like Walt Disney took the hard way to develop their dream. They didn't have a blueprint. They didn't have a proven system. But I have one that can provide to you if you want it. Take a look at it. It may be for you, it may not. But you won't know unless you click on that link. Go ahead, take a few minutes and take a look at this blueprint and see if it's for you. Thank you for your time. I look forward to seeing you again.